Hello and welcome back to my series of videos on how to set up a Gibson Epiphone guitar, the SG Pro model in this case. In the previous videos we've set the neck relief, we've set the string height, we've adjusted the pickups. In this video we're actually going to just lubricate the electrics. The electrics were tested right at the beginning of the process and everything. There was no crackling of the pots, but we're going to lubricate to make sure that everything stays as it should do for the future. Let's do that now. So the first thing we need to do is to turn the guitar over, and we're going to access this panel here. If we needed to take these knobs off, there are a couple of ways of doing it, but I have a little tool which wasn't very expensive, which you fit over there, put the collar down, and it will give even pressure to pull off a knob. Very useful little tool. There's another way of doing it with a tea towel, which is less effective. I'm sure there's videos on YouTube on how to do that, but we don't need to do that. So we turn this over and take off this back plate. So there we are, there's our electrics. And the bits that we're going to clean, as we're going to try and, although these are it's quite difficult to get into these sort of pots, and these switches, we're just going to, these switches, you get lots of dust in there, so we're going to spray all of these areas. The product we use is a IPA electronic cleaning solvent, which in effect is called switch cleaner. The other thing, same sort of stuff, but we could also use Servisol IPA 170, which is isopropyl alcohol. Now, when using these sort of sprays, it's always best to wear a mask, partly because what can happen is that the alcohol can spray back, and I have known in the past it spray back into eyes. The other thing I would also do is, just to protect the skin, I would pop on a pair of gloves, mainly because I tend to find that using these sort of chemicals that it dries out your hands. So the first thing we're going to do is the switch. So I'll give it a switch, don't need too much, and then just move it, and I can see the switch is moving, and actually what's happened is that the top of the bottle, top of the can, has leaked ever so slightly onto my hand. So, and now we're doing the same with the knobs, and what I'm doing with my other hand is I'm spraying into these areas, and then I'm just moving the knob to make sure that the isopropyl alcohol gets into where it can go. The reason we've turned it over so quickly is it won't damage the surface of the guitar, but we don't want it to leak into the guitar, over the guitar surface anyway. One of the other things is I've noticed that switch seems a little bit, might be just the switch, but it's once the isopropyl alcohol is dried, which won't take very long, take a few minutes, we'll have a look at that switch to see whether we can actually, is there any way that we've actually been able to tighten it up, because it seems to be quite loose. That concludes this video. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button, and thumbs up's always appreciated. And if you want to be notified when my next video goes live, ding that little bell. See you in the next video. Thanks very much. Bye bye.